Welcome. In this video, I'll cover what I think the next moves are going to be for Bitcoin, Euro against the US dollar, gold, S&P 500, and dollar currency index. So I'll cover what I think is going to be the most likely move for each of these pairs and why. Just want to give a quick plug to my affiliate before getting into things. BitGet Exchange, if you need an exchange that does not require KYC to trade cryptocurrencies, then this is the one to do it. They have extremely low trading fees, so check it out with my link in the description down below or in the pinned comment if interested. Now, let's talk about these pairs. So starting with Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. Right now, I do believe Bitcoin is going to be heading to the downside and taking out the low here before we do see some sustained upside. That's going to be my most likely scenario. So let's talk about why that is. There's a couple factors we'll talk about on a couple different time frames, but starting with the hourly, we do have a rejection off of the 200 EMA here with this move down, which then correctively moves sideways under the 200 EMA and flipping the rejection zone indicator cloud to red. Then we're now seeing another move starting to head to the downside with hidden bearish divergence in play here. So likely seeing this head to the downside out of here and actually eventually taking out the low all the way over here for the hourly time frame trend being under the 200 EMA, seeing this reject and starting to head to the downside with some bearish signs. Now, if we go out to the 4-hour, we have some other reasons to be bearish as well. So not only are we under the 200 EMA on the 4-hour as well, but we just came up here on this pullback into the red rejection zone indicator cloud with hidden bearish divergence on stochastic RSI here. So price making a lower high with the stochastic RSI making a higher high. We also have a regular bearish divergence here on stochastic RSI and the overbought here coming up, making higher highs on price and a lower high on our indicator while pulling back into the rejection zone indicator cloud. Likely scenario when you get a setup like this under the 200 EMA with a red cloud is another follow through move to the downside. So most likely going to be heading down here, and we can kind of zoom out and look for a logical area to be headed. Now, this has already taken out some significant lows. So we talked about this in some of the other videos, this low being swept, which it has already done, which is good. And, we wanted to see that reaction out of sweeping this low. But the way it's set up right now is more so looking for continuation to the downside. And at this point, it's looking more likely that we're going to see it push down to this high here. It's going to be that next logical level for me to look for price to head down to. So that's going to be what I'm looking for, is this next move to the downside. Now, if we go out to Euro against the US dollar, let's talk about this one. We have a similar scenario here with hidden bearish divergence. So we can take a look here. Price makes lower high, coming down here in a downtrend, pulls back into rejection zone indicator cloud under the 200 EMA on the 4-hour with hidden bearish divergence, and it's starting to head down. Now, I think that this is on its way to first take out the low here and then looking to sweep lows over here or over here. So if we kind of extrapolate that out, first area of interest there, second area of interest here for this next move to head down to before we see a larger bounce up. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, is this next move, and that is the reasoning behind it. If we go down to the hourly, we can see this also in a downtrend under 200 EMA and definitely putting in quite a bit of divergence here and pulling back significantly enough to kind of reset things before getting ready for that next move in the downtrend. So I think we're likely going to be heading down and sweeping some of these lows as the next target here. So first one right here, looking to sweep that. Now let's go to gold. And gold is just popping under its 200 EMA on the 4-hour, which is more so bearish. It would want to quickly recover this if it's not to go into a longer term downtrend. But what I'm looking at here is these significant lows. Look at all of these lows here that have just not been swept. These lows here, I think we're going to see at least a push down to sweep these lows, probably all of them. So down into this area for this next move. In the hourly time frame, we're coming up with hidden bearish divergence see this reset higher on our stochastic RSI, much lower on price. This pullback is very small, so it hasn't quite come up as much as I'd like to see to get a discounted entry. But if we can get up here, then I'd be looking for an entry to be getting this follow through move down to here. So I'm looking for this follow through move down to here, and at least to sweep these higher low areas here. So this would be the first target, and then this would be the lower range of the targets here. If we do get a discounted entry, that'd be great for a good risk to reward ratio. It's already pushed down, so I just wouldn't want to get a fresh entry here. But ultimately looking for that follow through move to the downside here. So let's move on to our S&P 500 or ES. So here, let's take a look. 4 hour, we have actually some bullish signs. So 4 hour isn't looking too bad. If we go out to our hourly, it is looking very choppy and sideways. So there's not a lot of confidence in this setup. What we can note is hidden bearish divergence, so shorter term. This one's not quite as clear as the others, but we do have hidden bearish divergence here under the 200 EMA on the hourly time frame with a red cloud, and expecting this to head down, maybe sweep some lows. We did actually already see this sweep the low right here before we got this bounce. And we actually have a lot of untapped highs up here as well. So there's a lot of kind of confusion here for S&P 500. This one I just wouldn't want to touch when there's other pairs that are setting up much more clearly. So if I had to guess short term, heading to the downside, hidden bearish divergence under 200 EMA, red cloud, but I don't really want to be trading this one. It's just not giving a lot of clarity, as some time frames are so bullish and some are bearish, and it's just not a good setup. So gonna be skipping this one. If we go to dollar currency index, things are getting bullish. We just swept the high here actually. So maybe a pullback now underway, just took out the high before this pullback. So maybe we see somewhat of a pullback before any continuation, but I do think we will see some continuation still. It has not tapped into this high right here, which it's very close to. So it's very likely to take out that high, if not head up towards this next high. So just looking for these next moves across these pairs, and obviously there's some correlation between these, but just going to be looking for this follow through to the upside here to kind of complete this big move here. I think that we're looking at kind of something like this, something like that to the upside before we see a proper pullback or move to the downside out of here. And we may see this end up being a full continuation down. So that what I'm talking about in this video is really shorter term, but right now we're getting this kind of thing with this third wave up, and then I could see this actually falling all the way through after this move up completes. So I'm just kind of predicting far in advance here with this, but I think short term heading up, and then likely we're going to see at least a larger pullback, if not a full follow through to the downside out of it, to continue this overall downtrend. But right now still bullish, and still expecting some more upside for dollar currency index. Okay, so that will kind of conclude things here for this video. And if you guys want to, hit the like button, comment down below for algorithm, subscribe if you haven't, and use my BitGet link if you want to support the channel at no cost to you. Thank you guys, and have a great day.